this area of rotation. And again, earlier on, it was closer to the Mount Gilead area and is continuing to track off to the east. Right now, we're seeing that, I'd say, south of the Belleville area and closer to Bangerville. And if you continue to watch this update as we're doing this, this continues to move very, very quickly. So again, get in the safe spot. Make sure you are ready to go, as that's where we're seeing that area of rotation just near that region. So again, closer to Lexington and Belleville is where we're seeing a little bit of that rotation. Nothing confirmed on the ground yet, but we have had a lot of spotters that have said that they have seen reports of funnel clouds. The one trick that we have with the system too, we're getting a lot of rain with it. We've had a lot of rain so far this past week, and with this rain, sometimes it can rain wrap these funnel clouds, and then it becomes a little bit more difficult to see. So again, watching this notch within here, right around 71, and it is progressing off to the east near the Belleville area. So if you're right around that area, if you know where that is, that's what we're watching out for. We're going to put our radar back on so you can see the bowing out of this system. Not only are we have this tornado warning, but we got some pretty strong winds to go along with it too. Have reports of 60 and the opportunity for 70-mile-per-hour winds within a few of these systems. So you may also hear some of those winds pick up. Another reason why it is a good idea to get to that safe zone, because even if we don't have a confirmed tornado on the ground, we do have the opportunity for some straight line winds in a few of these systems. We're seeing the kind of bowing effect, the nudging out of this system. Right now, it looks like it's pushing closer to State Route 13, just south of the Hanley Village area. Little Washington will be next in the path, and then Hastings. And then as we get into far eastern Richland County, then Newville is next. If you hear any of these counties that we're talking about, that is why you want to be in your safe spot. We're watching out for this area of possible rotation. National Weather Service does have this tornado warning in place until about 5:15. Let me zoom out and I'll put a bit of a track on this area that you're seeing, because we're already noticing that push through parts of Belleville right now. It's moving off to the east right around 50 miles per hour. So if we put this track on for you, it looks like it'll be closer to the Ashland County area. I'd say right around 5:10, 5:15. So we'll have to see if they continue that warning past that. Do we have Dante with us?
We do, Mackenzie.
Hey, Dante.
I am here, and as a matter of fact, our producer was telling me that we have, that's from, is that Richland County, Geiger, that you said? That's where this is at? Okay, so that's Richland County, where it's just raining cats and dogs. I mean, it's just heavily raining. And Mackenzie mentioned in her report just a few minutes ago that sometimes, because it's raining so heavily, some of these funnel clouds or possible tornadoes could be rain wrapped. So this is why you probably don't want to be outside in some of these things, because you won't even see what's coming your way, let alone gusty straight line winds, but a tornado that could be rain wrapped too. So we sent one of our ground foxes towards this area, the Richland, Ashland County area, because we knew these storms would be coming eastward, and that's the first place that they're going to hit. And we'll probably move our crews a little further eastward as these storms, as Mackenzie mentioned, quickly move through here. And if you were with us at 4 o'clock, I said that these storms are going to be quickly moving through here. They got places to go and things to do. So thankfully, it's not one of those slower storm systems that's just going to grind all evening long. All right, let's orient ourselves just a minute here. Medina County, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. And then the whole county of Ashland and Richland County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, but the southern areas are under a tornado warning. It's that batch of storms. We got a few batch of storms that's moving through these areas here. And so it's hard sometimes to really orient yourself. Here's the whole line that we're seeing right just to the west of 71 is where we're seeing this line, anywhere from up into Erie County, down into Huron County, again, right along northern Richland County, right through the middle of Richland County, then down towards central Ohio into Morrow County. And this particular storm system here that Mackenzie mentioned was a bow echo, I mean, really gusty winds. So we've got the severe thunderstorm warning from Medina County until 5 o'clock. So this will probably be allowed to expire about 5 o'clock. Looks like that storm might be weakening just a little bit. And then a severe thunderstorm warning for Crawford and Richland County. That's until 5 o'clock as well. And that's the northern part of Richland County. And then as we head Okay, so Mackenzie was mentioning from the storm spotters that a funnel cloud near Lexington in Richland County. I say what now, Geiger? Attempting to form. So we got a funnel cloud that's attempting to form. So these storms are rotating as they move through this, as I mentioned to you about maybe a half hour ago, the warm, rich, unstable air mass. And so with that wind shear, where the winds go in a different direction, the higher up in the atmosphere you go, that's allowing for those storms to rotate. And so what it takes in that air, because the storm is rotating and it's taking in the air in the updraft, that's causing the air that it takes to rotate as well. And that gives us a better chance of forming some of these tornadoes. So that's why we have the tornado warning, at least for another half hour or so until 5:15. And again, that's for Richland and Ashland County. And so southern Richland County around the Lexington area, probably just to the east of 71 with that bowing out segment, that's where we have that potential for forming with that tornado. Here is Belleville. Here are those winds. This is going away from the radar site for red and then going towards the radar site and green. So look at this. We got these winds that are pushing in and that's bowing out. So anywhere from Mansfield right down to Belleville and the southern Richland County area, that's where we got the gusty wind. So if you're anywhere, I'd say 30 and south in Richland County, and even 30 and south in Ashland County, even the Loudonville area, probably get into your safe space now. I'd probably maybe charge some devices if they're not already charged already. Get down to the basement, the centermost portion of your house or your apartment, because this storm, even if there's not a tornado, which again, Mackenzie just mentioned that the storm spotters are saying it's starting to try and form a funnel cloud. These gusty winds, they are also going to do some damage, even if there's no tornado that forms. So really gusty winds with these. And then we got some hail just to the south of in Morrow County. We've got some hail there. Did we have another report there, Geiger? Okay. So we've got the gusty winds and we've got some rainfall. At times the rain could be heavy, but because these storms are quickly moving, the flood threat's not really there. Maybe some ponding on the roadways as these storms barrel through, but not really looking at a big flooding concern with these. But again, looking at that tornado warning in southern Richland and Ashland counties. Let's see if I can maybe put on a storm track here for us and see where these storms are headed. There's a close-up view of this. You can see the heavy rain on 71. There's a lot of folks traveling back and forth through Ohio, right along 71. Obviously, it's the throughway here in the state, but there's a lot of heavy rain for those folks. And then they have to watch out once you get into the southern Richland and Ashland County areas on 71 for that tornado threat. Mackenzie had some more information for us. Mackenzie.
Hey, thanks, Dante. And you're correct. The atmosphere was totally primed for this system. We talked about how warm and kind of unstable the air felt earlier today, and we got a lot of sunshine. And that's why it's no surprise that we're not only seeing these line of severe storms, but what happens when we get this line of storms is that any little notches that you see, I'm zooming out on our radar now, and if you see any little notches or intakes, that moisture easily is able to get into there, and that helps provide to supercharge the atmosphere in a way. And just like we're talking about with this system in parts of Richland County, you're seeing a little bit of that notch closer to the Lucas area. And when we see that in that bowing out segment, we know that some pretty strong winds can develop ahead of it. And we could see winds 60 to 70 miles per hour beyond the threat of some tornadic activity. And again, we did have that report from a spotter closer to, I believe it was the Belleville area that they saw the possible rotation of a funnel cloud. And when we see a funnel cloud, that's not a tornado. It has to touch the ground to officially be a tornado. But to note that we are seeing a little bit of rotation in the atmosphere, that's definitely something we want to be mindful of. With these systems, they do have a history of providing some severe weather. We just got a report from the National Weather Service that they are seeing damage in Bucyrus, and this is the same line of segments that move through parts of Bucyrus and Morrow County, and we're now starting to see it push through parts of southern Richland County. Now, I do want to kind of heads up a few of our areas, especially in Ashland County. Now, if you live below Ashland, the city itself, that's the region that we're kind of watching out for. Below 71 is the area that is included in that tornado warning box. So right around Hayesville, Widowville, we're looking out for. McKay is included in that tornado warning. Perrysville is also included in that. Loudonville included in the tornado warning. And again, that'll last until about 5:15. So you should be in that safe spot at least for another 20 minutes or 20 minutes to 30 minutes or so. Take it into far Ashland County, even getting closer to State Route 97, the bottom of State Route 3. You want to be very mindful if you have anyone in that region that is down there. We're watching out again for this Boeing segment that was already pushed through Belleville. So Belleville, you've seen the worst of it. This is now starting to push into eastern Richland County. So stretching up through parts of Lucas, we want to be weather aware. Newville, also watching out for that. And then it'll start to push into Ashland County probably within the next few minutes. We can actually put a new track on this for you where we're seeing this bowing out segment, especially now that we just got a latest update. Again, these are moving pretty quickly. It looks like it'll be closer to the Ashland County line probably within the next 10 minutes or so, then closer to Budd Elementary School right around 5:03, Nashville at 5:17, Ripley at 5:19. All right, we're giving you a live view if you're able to see your cell phone, laptop that you brought with you to your safe spot, giving you a view out of Richland County. Where is this driving, Geiger? 71 Richland County, and you could tell it is completely a whiteout in terms of that rainfall. Hard to see really the cars in front of you. If you do know someone that is heading that way on 71 in Richland County, wouldn't it be a bad idea to give them a call, noting them that they are in this tornado warned system? We're seeing the worst of it. The rotation is past 71 right now, but they are still in that warning box. And the thing they're seeing is a lot of heavy rain that could allow for some ponding. You can see a lot of reduced visibility there. Also, those winds still the worst right around 71 right now. That opportunity for 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts right around 71. Thankfully, we're noting a lot of the rotation is pushing past 71, but we are noting it start to move into parts of Ashland County. Let's take another look at our velocity scan here. We're keeping an eye out for this area that is right around the Ashland County line, so it would be close to the Perrysville area, and then McKay would be next. So we're going to watch out for that little notch that we're seeing there. And if you're looking at your screen, you may wonder why we're looking at the reds and the greens. Well, when we're able to look into these systems, we're able to look at how the winds are turning in the upper layers of the atmosphere. And if we see a lot of rotation in that, the wind's moving different ways, that's where we can see some rotation embedded into some of those storms. And again, right now we're going to be watching out for this area of rotation, possibly moving into Ashland County, right around the Perrysville area. Dante, do you have any latest information for us?
Yeah, Mackenzie, I just wanted to tell the folks that what you're looking at is the storm relative velocity. And when we look at storm relative velocity, we take a look at the winds inside the storm. Radar can do a lot more than just look at precipitation. It can look at the types of precipitation, the direction the precipitation is moving, and then the winds inside of the storm. And so we're really looking for those reds and greens real close to each other. That'll give us a sense of rotation in the storm. And if they're real close to each other, we call it a couplet, and that's where the rotation in the storm is, where the winds are going in one direction and in another direction real close to each other. So that's what we're looking for. Right now, I think there's some of that, bits and pieces of that, where some of those funnel clouds are trying to form. So ground spotter information, real important. It comes into play. That says the technology is doing what it's supposed to do. Just wanted to set the stage for you. Again, we've got the whole area under a tornado watch because of that wind shear is pretty good here, and then the instability is pretty good, which means these storms can really grow tall. We were in the Weather Center earlier today, and we were really looking at how tall these storms were starting to grow. And so that gave us an indication that we could have some severe storms on the horizon. All right, so here are the watches and warnings. So warning still in Medina County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. A severe thunderstorm warning in eastern Richland County and Ashland County. And then that tornado warning in Richland and Ashland counties. Now, if that storm holds together with the tornado warning, then Richland County will be dropped out. Ashland County will continue, and then it may continue into Holmes County. But right now, that's still not a foregone conclusion where the storm actually is. All right, so here's the line of storms that we're watching. Here are the watches and here are the warnings. So Medina County, still seeing that warning until at least 5 o'clock, maybe 3 more minutes or so. And then still seeing the warning with the bowing out segment. I suspect once this bowing out segment moves through here, I see it right there under the polygon with maybe a little bit of hail in there as well. And it moves southward. Richland County eventually will be dropped out, and then a little sliver of southern Ashland County will still be in there. And that tornado warning still goes until about 5:15 here. So the next 20 minutes or so. The severe thunderstorm warning for Richland County still goes on until 5:30. So there's that. And so they believe it'll take about 5:30 for this line, this bowing out segment, to get through Richland County and then Medina County until 5 o'clock. Again, this storm is kind of fizzling out, so I suspect that that storm within the next 3 minutes will be allowed to expire, at least that severe thunderstorm warning. Look at these gusty winds. This is the storm relative that I'm looking at. So we're looking to see if we see any of these couplets, sort of red and greens, real close to together and then kind of hold on tight. But what I'm seeing is a big blotch of red, and I'm seeing sort of that kidney or that bowing out segment. And so that lets us know that those really gusty winds are really moving through there. Mansfield, some gusty winds, Belleville, Loudonville, it's right on the doorstep of Loudonville in Ashland County, and then Hayesville as well. So you'll get some gusty winds that'll move through. This is a tornado warned storm. So I would, even if there's not a tornado with it, there's going to be some really gusty straight line winds that could do some damage. So probably if you hear my voice, and you're in anywhere from Belleville, which I think you're about past the worst of it, but if you're in Loudonville, anywhere in southern Richland and Ashland counties, just go ahead and make sure you're in your safe space. All right, let's scoot in a little bit closer here, and I'll put on my camera information here, and I'll move in. Look at that storm system right there in Belleville, but there are peaks here where you see this. That is hail. You see that right there around the Lincoln area along 71. That's hail, and some of this hail could be pretty large. That's a threat as we go through the course of the evening. It's large hail, so just a heads up there. The large hail is a threat with some of these storms. We'll scoot up a little bit more, show you around the Ashland area. That is just rainfall, maybe moderate rainfall, but head a little further south, right along 30. I'd say south of 30, that's probably the biggest threat right there, south of 30 into the Loudonville area. We're seeing a little bit of little gusty wind action going on there, Hayesville and Lucas as well. All right, it's about 5 o'clock here. We'll roll the info and then be right back.
Northeast Ohio's #1 choice for news. Cleveland's own Fox 8 News starts now.
If you're just joining us at the top of the hour, we do have a tornado warning for parts of Ashland and Richland County. This is expected to last until about 5:15. We've been tracking this for about 30 minutes or so. Started off in parts of central Ohio, back near Morrow County, has moved through parts of Richland County, just starting to push out of Richland. And now we're keeping an eye on Ashland County, where we have had several reports of funnel clouds. Just got a latest report in from the National Weather Service that near State Route 13 and 71 in Richland County, there was a report of a funnel cloud. We had a report of a funnel cloud earlier closer to Belleville. And with these systems, thankfully, we're not going to see these long track tornadoes. We're going to see brief moments of rotation. And we haven't had anything confirmed on the ground either. So there's been no confirmation that a tornado is on the ground. We're just preparing because we do have all of the those environments in place that we could get some rotation here. And we've had several reports of that and also have verified that via our radar. As we kind of zoom in closer to the Ashland County area, we're watching out for this bowing out segment. Let's put our radar on so we can get a little bit of this clutter out of here. We know that there's a lot of frequent lightning within these systems, which has been known to cause some damage. We know that there is a lot of high winds, which is going to be a big threat in a lot of the systems that we track tonight. Even if you're outside of this tornado warning box, we still have a lot of systems that could provide some pretty gusty winds. Not too long ago, we had a report of a lot of trees down Route 97 between Butler and Belleville, live trees, 1.5 foot diameter snapped approximately 3 feet above the ground. So it looks like the National Weather Service will have to go and verify that because that could lead to some damage. Again, that was backed by Route 97 between Butler and Belleville, and that was a little bit earlier on from one of our weather spotters. This tornado warning box is covering parts of southern Ashland County. So if you live south of Ashland, the city itself, if you're south of 71, that's the region that we're watching out for. And it has seemed like we've seen the system start to fall apart some. So we'll have to see within the next 10 minutes if they extend this as we continue into parts of Wayne County. We haven't had any verification on that yet, but we'll let you know as soon as we do. We're watching out for this little notch area that we're seeing here right around the Loudonville area. So if you're near McKay, Perrysville, seeing a lot of heavy rain right now, a lot of high winds. The area of rotation that we're kind of watching out for, where we see the greens and the reds, our velocity is right around the Loudonville region. So we're going to be watching out for that as we head into the next few minutes. Just north of that, Hayesville, also dealing with a lot of rain. We've had reports of hail anywhere from 1/2 inch up to 1 inch, so still could do a lot of damage. I want to zoom out to the area because we have been focusing a lot on this tornado warning, and again, that will last until about 5:15. But as we zoom out across the area and just show you this line as a whole, we have a pretty fast moving system. This system right now is moving right around about 50 miles per hour, and it's bringing some strong winds along with it. All right, we just got another update from the National Weather Service. Looks like they're going to continue that tornado warning for parts of Ashland County until 5:15. So it doesn't look like we're seeing many updates. Okay, tornado and quarter-size hail with that. That is for southeastern Richland County, Ashland County, and then northeastern Knox County. So we're looking like they're looking at an area near Nashville, 13 miles west of Millersburg, and again moving east at 50 miles per hour. That's the latest update we got from the National Weather Service. We'll let you know if they do anything with that tornado warning as we get into the next 10 minutes. Again, this system right now bringing a lot of frequent lightning, so power outages probably going to be something we're dealing with as we head into the later part of the night. We're hoping to get this system on out of here by at least 7 o'clock. Taking you up closer to the lakeshore, I turned the lightning off for you just so you can get a better idea of what we're dealing with. Now, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings, at least north of the area. So moving into Lorain County, just kind of a run-of-the-mill thunderstorm here. but it is producing some pretty gusty conditions. Within these, we could still see wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour and also hail up to an inch. So still some pretty strong thunderstorms. Just plain old rain stretching back into parts of Cuyahoga County now, but that line will eventually press on that way. As we continue into the northern end of Richland County, we have some general thunderstorms, and here you can see they're updating that tornado warning box. They're really just kind of narrowing it down, taking some of the counties out of that and really extending it into the areas that we're focusing on. So that is going to be the southern end of Richland County. Looks like Hayesville is out of that tornado warning box. So now we're just watching out for regions like McKay, which is right around State Route 95, and then even stretching down through Perrysville. Loudonville, you're still included in this, stretching down through North Liberty, and then even Inkleytown also included in this tornado warning box until 5:15. And you can see kind of the bowing out of this line as it continues to move on in. We'll put a track on this for you. Again, moving right around 50 miles per hour off to the east. It's going to be a little bit closer to Ripley at 5:19, moving into Millersburg at 5:38, and then even Clark at 5:52. So we're expecting a lot of the bulk of the winds and the heavy rain, and again, that possible rotation continue to move on that way, continue to progress into counties like Wayne County and even Holmes County. So while Wayne and Holmes County, you're not in the tornado warning, you do want to be weather aware, as that's something that could happen if they looks like they are going to continue to extend that as we head into the next few minutes. Do have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings across the area, though. Actually, they just put a severe thunderstorm warning out for parts of Holmes, Stark County, even Wayne County. And again, that's for the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So out in front of this, they do have that severe thunderstorm warning. But for now, that tornado watch box just goes, that tornado warning box just goes until about 5:15. Do we have Dante standing by?
We do, Mackenzie. Thank you. We are, I think, currently trying to get a picture of maybe some hail. Okay, we have the picture from Lodi. Let's take a look at that. Maybe if we can put that, if possible, if we can put, okay, that's a funnel cloud there. So it looks like, yeah, that kind of looks like a funnel cloud right there. You can see how that narrows down and it doesn't quite touch the ground. Yeah, that's a classic funnel right there. And this is the environment for it. So we'll probably get more and more of these type of pictures or videos come in through the course of the evening as these storms move through here pretty quickly because the environment is such that we knew the atmospheric shear would be there, where at the ground the wind is going one way, but the further up you get into the atmosphere, the wind starts to turn and allows for some of these supercell developments where you see this big mothership looking cloud. If it were a clear-esque day and you could look at this storm from miles, it may look like a mothership and it's rotating, and then every now and again a funnel starts to drop out of that because you got your downdraft and you got your updraft where the storm is taking in the air and then the storm's getting rid of the air, and that starts to rotate there, and so you get funnel clouds just like that. So no surprise there that we got some funnel clouds, but that was a very good picture of the funnel cloud. I was thinking of hail because I was looking at some of these storms here and kind of moving the mouse around and looking at some of these just to the north of Mount Vernon, seeing some hail there, a good swath of hail to the north of Mount Vernon. That's not our area, but if you look up towards where our area is, you head towards Ashland County and get in towards the Loudonville area, that's where we're looking at a little bit of hail there. And some heavy rain, some very dark returns on the radar indicates heavy rain, and then down just to the south and west of Loudonville, some hail with some of these storms. The hail could be kind of large at times. I don't think we've had any reports of large hail. I'm going to go ahead and kind of move forward and see if I can't find anything that would give me any indication of we're seeing any. So I think here downtown Cleveland, we're just really seeing the rain and the cloud cover around. Not really seeing any thunderstorm activity just yet, but not seeing any lightning bolts on this camera. Live Fox 8 Tower Cam comes in handy sometimes. It's pointed to the sky on a day like this where we're expecting some severe weather to move in and not really seeing anything there. So that's good news, I can tell you that. Certainly wouldn't want to see anything. All right, so okay, so now I'm getting word that the Richland and Ashland tornado warning has expired. It was originally going to expire at 5:15. Looks like it's moved a little further south, not seeing the rotation that we once saw with it, so they did allow that to expire. Now, as these storms quickly move through here over the next couple of hours or so, we'll hop back on, let you know if the tornado forms, but until then, we're going to give it back to news, get you caught up on the day's news headlines and sports as well. We'll continue to give you a regular update on the forecast and what's going on with the storms, but until then, we'll head it back to news and hop back on if another tornado warning comes into play there. Guys.
All right, great job, team. We're going to take a quick break and regroup here and have your news here on Fox 8 News at 5 in just a few more moments. Stay close.